Gabriel Okara. He is a Nigerian poet and as well as a novelist. His full name is Gabriel Timi Okara. He born on 24th April 1921 at Bomondi, Niger Delta at Nigeria and died at his 97th age on 25th March 2019 at Yaragowa, Bayelsa State at Nigeria. Now let us see about his short biography. Okara joined at Government College Umuahia in 1921 and later on moved to Yaba Higher College. During the World War II, he tried to enlist his name in Royal Air Force but it couldn't happen because unfortunately he didn't complete his pilot training. Instead of that, he joined in Overseas Airways Corporation run by British. At 1945, he joined as a bookbinder and printer a in a publication company owned by colonial Nigerian government. There he worked around 9 years. And here the place where he get the spark to become a writer. At first, he began to translate the poems from Aija language into English and he wrote lots of script to government radio station. At the year of 1949, he completed his journalism course from Northwest University and joined as an information officer at Eastern Nigerian Government Service. Now let us see about the awards he got. In 1953, Best All-Round Entry in Poetry at the Nigerian Festival of Arts for The Call of River Nan. Next, in 1979, Commonwealth Poetry Prize for The Fisherman's Invocation. Next, in the year of 2005, NLNG Prize for his two poems, The Dreamer and His Vision. Hence, this is a short information about the poet Gabriel Okara. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Goodbye, friends.
Hi friends, today we are going to look at the poem Once Upon a Time, Nigeria by Gabriel Okara. In this poem has 7 stanzas. This poem, Once Upon a Time, is written by Gabriel Okara, a Nigerian poet. It is written in the backdrop of Nigeria's independence from Britain. The poet seems to be shocked by the change of lifestyle, values, morals, and the total changes in the world in the new independent country. Though the country is politically independent, it seems to be still influenced by the British culture. This poem describes what happens when the traditional African culture and civilization meets with the Western culture. With his nostalgic vision, the poet recalls the golden times of the past. In this poem, based on the 4 themes. Number 1, childhood experiences. Number 2, hypocrisy. Number 3, loss of innocence. Number 4, appearances versus reality. Situation of the poem. This poem is the way of narrative. One African shares his past with his son. In this poem refers the Africans are easily accept the Westerners and their culture. The poem is nostalgic. African share about his childhood days with his son. He is remembering how things used to be when he was young and innocent like his son. The poem highlights the guilt and anger or resentment an African man feels for himself to accept the culture of Westerners. He notices a marked changes in the attitudes of his people. Those who were once so genuine, warm, and sincere have now suddenly turned cold and hostile towards him. This poem also structured like a mirror, as the first 3 stanzas talk about the innocence, whereas the next 3 portray the experiences. Furthermore, the poet is constantly reflecting on the 2 times of their. Now we are going to see the stanza-wise summary. In the first stanza of the poem, once upon a time, son, they used to laugh with their hearts and laugh with their eyes, but now they only laugh with their teeth, while their eyes block cold eyes. Such became my shadow. The first stanza summary. First stanza refers at the start of the poem. Okara writes, they used to laugh with their hearts and eyes, but now they only laugh with their teeth, while their eyes block cold eyes. Such became my shadow. These phrases illustrate the changes in the where people act showing that their laughs used to be genuine and heartfelt. However, now their attitudes have changed. The description of laugh with their teeth illustrate someone showing false interest. The dark imagery, ice block, cold ice, which follows shows that there is no emotion or feeling in the action. The second stanza of the poem. There was a time indeed they used to shake hands with their hearts, but that's gone, son. Now they shake hands without hearts while their left hand search my empty packet. Second stanza summary. The second stanza, Okara describes how they used to shake hands with their hearts, implying that the actions were genuine and were also symbolic of good intentions. However, now they shake hands without hearts while their left hands search my empty packets. This phrase illustrates that all good intentions have gone and how now it is every man for him. Everybody is only focusing on their own personal gain. The use of a metaphor emphasizes how there is a lack of trust as everybody is trying to use each other. The phrase empty packets could signify that he has been stripped of all genuine happiness and has been left feeling empty and alone. The third stanza of the poem. Feel at home, come again, they say, and when I come again and feel at home, once, twice, there will be no tries, for then I find doors shut on me. So I have learned many things, son. Third stanza of the summary. Okara shows the changes in him as a man, and I have learned too to say goodbye when I mean good riddance. Here there is an evident shift in the stanza due to the fact that he is now talking about himself and how he too has learned to be false. This could imply that society has pressured him into changing in the negative way. The fourth stanza of the poem. I have learned to wear many faces like dresses, home face, office face, street face, host face, cocktail face, with all their conforming smiles like a fixed portrait smile. Fourth stanza of the summary. Gabriel Okara says in the second line of the fourth stanza, I have learned to wear many faces, which shows that he has adapted to using different faces for different occasions. When he goes on to saying some of those occasions and their faces, office face, street face, etc., then he finally goes on to this like a fixed portrait smile, which indicate that all these faces never change and it's like a smile fixed for its own occasions. Summing up stanza 4, this stanza has been focused on how people tend to change their facial expressions for different occasions and how for each occasion people tend to have a different smile like a fixed picture that never changes. Fifth stanza of the poem. And I have learned too to laugh with only my teeth and shake hands without my heart. I have also learned to say goodbye when I mean good riddance, to say glad to meet you without being glad, and to say it's been nice talking to you after being bored. Fifth stanza of the summary. The poet starts off stanza 5 by signifying that he also has adapted to the environment around him and that he has also picked up the bad habits that are hovering around him by saying, and I have learned too. He then says to laugh with only my teeth, which suggests that he has also learned to laugh without happiness and to laugh only for the sake of laughing. And then the writer goes on and writes, I have also learned to say goodbye when I mean good riddance and to say glad to meet you without being glad. This demonstrates that now he has also learned to say goodbye in a nice way and not mean it good way at all. As he says, when I mean good riddance, he now says glad to meet you without being pleased, as he says after being bored, which indicated that it was boring meeting the person. However, he will still put on a smiley and a cheerful face while talking to him. To summarize this stanza, the writer is saying that there are no true emotions in his words and feelings, and they are said with just his tongue, not his heart. Overall, in this stanza, the writer shows how his environment has had an impact on how he behaves, how he emotionally detached from other people, how it has destroyed his passion, and how it has made his heart unfeeling. Sixth stanza of the poem. But believe me, son, I want to be what I used to be. When I was like you, I want to unlearn all these muting things. Most of all, I want to relearn how to laugh, for my laugh in the mirror shows only my teeth like a snake's bare fangs. Sixth stanza summary. The poet describes how he used to feel. It seems that he is talking to a child or a young man who has not yet experienced the change of heart, who has not yet been influenced by the environment and the society in which he lives. The poet says in the first line of the sixth stanza, "But believe me, son," emphasizing with regret, "I want to be what I used to be. I want to unlearn all these muting things." These lines describe his desperations to go back to his old innocent way, where he felt life was simple and his emotions were honest. It also describes his hope and desire to unlearn all the bad habits he has picked up over the years. Seventh stanza of the poem. So, show me, son, how to laugh. Show me how I used to laugh and smile once upon a time when I was like you. In the last stanza, he asks the son, almost plead with him too. Show me, son, how to laugh. Show me how I used to laugh and smile. He sums up what he has been trying to say throughout the poem to the person he is having his conversation with, to teach him all the good habits he has lost and to teach him how to have true honest and emotions. The African man teaches his son about the good habits. Central idea of the poem. Innocence is fading aspects the man's society. People always appear deceitful and cunning. The child, however, is a picture of innocence and acts without any malice or ulterior motive. The man wishes to gain this innocence from his son, though he fails to realize that innocence is not learned state of mind. Once it is lost, it is gone forever. I hope you all understand this poem and summary. Thank you for watching this video.